Welcome to our Friday live stream. This week in cannabis news, powered by Dutchie. Each Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we deliver an overview of this week's cannabis news. It's quick, it's comprehensive, and it sends you into the weekend as a more informed cannabis professional. And it's kind of fun. And it's all made possible by our friends at Dutchie. And a note about that, in today's newsletter, if you read it, you'll read about how Dutchie is the only company officially integrated with BioTrack in New York for cultivation, processing, and retail. It's a big milestone for Dutchie, but also, and more importantly, Dutchie customers. So be sure to check it out in the link in the show notes. Now, let's get to it. New York's Office of Cannabis Management told about 150 operators earlier this week that they may need to move their retail operations if they are located too close to schools, despite those locations already being approved by the agency and being given the thumbs up. Many dispensaries are already open, in fact, and this has been a jolt to the New York cannabis industry, which was seemingly trying to right the ship. Now, nobody knows exactly what to expect next, except this. There will be lawsuits for sure. Finding a location is hard enough in New York. Finding a second new location after the OCM has already given you a thumbs up would be nearly impossible. Expect more on this front, and the only way you can find out and keep up to date is at cultivated.news. And that's not all from New York. New York's Cannabis Control Board met on Friday last week, and over 2,000 license applicants are still waiting for review at least 20 months after they applied for a license. Many of them applied in December of 2023, and they are known as the December queue. In that time, aspiring operators have had to sit on the sidelines while paying legal fees, as well as rent in some cases, and utilities on property, which is a key part of the actual licensing application that they cannot yet use. And at Friday's meeting, many of these December queue applicants learned that they may not be able to open their doors until 2033, over a decade after they applied. And no, that is not a typo, and I did not misspeak. They said 2033. Smart Approaches to Marijuana, aka SAM, an anti-legalization group, said it took out ads on Fox News urging President Trump to block rescheduling of cannabis. The ads appeal to RFK Jr. as well, saying the Trump administration should make America healthy again by blocking cannabis reform. To the Senate, Kentucky's two senators, Senators Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell, appear to have come to an agreement over a pending agriculture appropriations bill. Senator Paul reportedly threatened to block passage of the entire appropriations bill unless his fellow Republicans agreed to remove language that would have banned intoxicating hemp products. Senator McConnell, for his part, who served as Senate leader when the legislature passed the 2018 Farm Bill, has recently said that he was in favor of closing the loophole in his earlier bill that allowed intoxicating hemp to be sold across the U.S. Yesterday, we did a deep dive into the current and future state of hemp-derived THC in a webinar we co-produced and co-hosted with the Hemp Beverage Alliance. A link to the webinar is in the show notes. And despite telling lawmakers earlier this year that restarting the pause process to reclassify cannabis from the most restrictive Schedule 1 to the less restrictive Schedule 3 is one of his top priorities when confirmed as DEA administration head, rescheduling did not appear in a press release listing Terrence Cole's priorities. Cole was confirmed last week by the Senate. And to our insights from Lit Alerts. How many SKUs should a retail store carry? The question comes up often during pre-opening planning as retailers get ready to open, and usually remains an ongoing discussion after the store opens and enters the endless phase of optimizing menu space. As you would expect, there's no single answer, and much of the answer lies in the analysis of your local market, which is why it was incredible insight provided by our partners at Lit Alerts this week when they compared the number of type of cannabis SKUs and East Coast markets. Now, there are clear differences between and among these markets, but it is interesting to show these 5 markets and how they compare across category SKUs in Maryland, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. And that is it for this week in Cannabis News. Thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you, Lit Alerts, for your partnership and exclusive insights into 5 key East Coast markets and SKU counts. and the categories in those counts. Thank you, Dutchie, for making this show possible each and every week. You can find all of these stories and much, much more on cultivated.news. We would also love if you follow us on LinkedIn or on YouTube, where you're watching us right now, to stay connected on socials. Check back next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on This Week in Cannabis News, powered by Dutchie. Have a good and safe weekend, everybody.